Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your old pal, the KMN 1971, back with another Viva Variety Influence haul. This haul will feature some books from the Silver Age all the way to modern and current books, featuring genres of the sci-fi, Western, sword and sorcery, horror, superheroes, and especially some extra emphasis on mutants this time around. So I got about 40-something books to show. Let's kick it off with a magazine, shall we? We're going to kick it off with The Savage Sword of Conan, #1, book that just came out a couple of months ago. It's not hot or anything, but just look at this banger of a Joe Jusko cover. I also found out that I was mispronouncing Joe Jusko's name for years, but that's how it was pronounced at my local comic book shop. But anyway, better late than never. So Joe Jusko, #1, he has been knocking it out of the park for decades now. As you can see here, with my second pickup, the Hulk magazine from the Bronze Age, #24, very Lou Ferrigno influence, and I have wanted this cover for ages, man. Finally found it in a decent condition and at a decent price. Love it. Joe Jusko awesomeness. Also, Planet of the Apes, another series that I have just lately been pecking away at. Another fantastic cover. I can't remember if I saw this in a We Love Comics video haul, or maybe it was Patriot Comics. Either way, both shout outs to both of those YouTubers. They're fantastic. But as soon as I saw this cover, I had to have it in the PC. All right. Let's get into the comic, shall we? So, being a big fan of the current Ultimate Spider-Man comic and reading Ultimate Invasion #1, I needed to know the rest of the story. So, oops, this is a little out of order. Sorry. So that's issue #4, and issue #3, which I picked up off the newsstand, off the rack, and then I had to go online and pick up a copy of issue #2. And I ended up picking up this second print, which features this incredible Brian Hitch wraparound cover. I'm a sucker for wraparound covers. Alright. Also picked up JLA #1, the 1 in 100 gatefold variant cover for like maybe $10-15. So, being a big Justice League fan, I thought that would be a nice little addition to my Justice League collection. Another cover that I've wanted for quite some time, being a fan of both of these characters and the classic Universal horror and monsters. Batgirl #14, featuring this, what I consider it to be a classic Art Germ cover. Speaking of unique covers, here are some that I've never really seen before. So this is Thunderbolts #78, and these are obvious parodies of the old Maxim magazine, which was all the rage back in the 90s, early 2000s. So I saw these at an LCS, and they were like maybe $2 or $3 a pop, so I figured why not. So here's #78. Here's #80, which seems like almost like a Betty Boop-esque type Coppertone cover. And #91. They don't go for much, but I thought they were pretty cool, so I figured why not add them to the PC, right? All right, now let's get into the mutants, shall we? Oops. Sorry about that. So, kicking it off, X-Men Adventures #1. I picked this up for like $5 2 weeks before the X-Men 97 series debuted on Disney+. So this is my second copy. If you see it for $5, you have to pick it up. So, but after X-Men 97 did debut, at my local comic book shop, he ended up like digging out some X-Men back issue boxes from the back room that I didn't really have access to before. So I ended up picking this up for a couple of bucks also. X-Men Uncanny X-Men Annual #17, featuring the first appearance of the Executioner. I wasn't reading X-Men at the time. This one's still polybagged, and those are probably the only two X-Men 97 influenced X-Men pickups that I picked up. But while I was there, I really hit up his classic X-Men section. So in my last haul, I finally picked up and re-added back into my collection a copy of Classic X-Men #1, but this one's even wider than the copy that I picked up. And while I was there, I was kind of reminded of how much I loved Art Adams' art on the X-Men. If all the 80s kids remember, if you get a random Art Adams annual from the X-Men, you are a pretty happy guy, or girl, whomever. So I love all these covers. I own the original issues, so these were just very cheap cover grabs on my part. So while I was there, I picked up issue #1, another copy of issue #1, another copy of issue #2. They didn't have issue #3, so I actually went online to grab this one. I ended up paying like $10, $5 for the book, and another $5 for shipping for a near mint newsstand copy of this, what I consider to be a very underrated, undervalued R. Adams Storm cover. Plus, you have the whole Marvel 25th anniversary border incentive going along with it. I just think it's a great cover. Back to the cheap stuff. Classic X-Men number 7 and 8. Number 9, just awesome R. Adams stuff. I also picked up any Adam Hughes cover that I could pick up there also. So number 71, 75, and number 78. While digging through that section, I also dug out Storm number 1. First time Storm had her own solo title. And as well as these bloody variants for X-Force, which I own the standard covers for these, but I always wanted these bloody variants for some reason or another. So number 1 and number 17, which is actually one of my favorite X23 covers out there. It's awesome. All of those books for like, I don't know, $2 or $3 a pop. Aside from the X-Men 97 number 1, which was $5, and this one, which was around $8. X23 number 1. The special, I remember this book was super, super hot leading up to the Logan movie back in the day. Picked up my second copies of Alpha Flight number 33, featuring the first appearance of Lady Deathstrike. And my second copy of Alpha Flight number 53, which features the first time that Jim Lee fully illustrated Wolverine. I know his first, either 51 or 52 is the first Jim Lee interiors on any Marvel comic book. And some say it's the first time he drew Wolverine, which is technically true, but it's only Wolverine like in a flashback panel, like in the background, real small. This is the first time that he actually illustrates Wolverine fully in a story. And I picked up Alpha Flight number 130. Doesn't go for much, maybe $10 on a good day, but it's the last issue, and I actually own all of the last issues of all the long-running Marvel titles, so happy to finally add that one into the PC. Also picked up some Spidey stuff, this gaudy Web of Spider-Man number 100 featuring the spider armor, but I have a thing for old school anniversary issues, so why not? Ultimate Spider-Man number 98, featuring the first appearance of the Ultimate Spider-Woman from the old Ultimate Universe. I thought this was a better pickup than it was. Amazing Spider-Man number 82, featuring this incredibly awesome Electro cover. But I thought this was probably like a 5.5, and I paid $25 for it. I'm not sure if the bottom staple popped when I was flipping through it, or if it was already like that. So unfortunately, only a VG. But $25 for a VG Amazing Spider-Man 82, still not the worst deal in the world. Captain Atom number 1, another book, second copy, but there's some hype behind it now, some speculation, so why not? When that happens, I like to have a copy for the PC and a copy to possibly flip down the line. Not that I've been selling any books as of lately. Kind of like Web of Spider-Man number 100, an old school anniversary issue. Conan the King number 50, featuring this sweet Mike Kaluta cover. How about some Bronze Age? For me, myself personally, I don't consider a worthy haul unless I grab some Bronze Age. So here we have Incredible Hulk number 209, Hulk versus the Absorbing Man. Yes, sign me up. I've also become a fan of these early Jonah Hex stories and weird Western tales. So here's number 27, number 30, and I believe this might be 31 or 32. I can't really tell. Yeah, it is 31, actually. It's a little cut off at the end. Also, another series that I've become a fan of, Witching Hour number 37 and number 45. Love those covers. Speaking of awesome horror covers, House of Mystery, number 189. That is just a banger. Star Wars King Size Annual, number 2 from the original series. Now I have all the annuals from the original series, as well as a run of like 1 through 50-something, so as well as some issues after that. So I think I'm down to like maybe 30 issues, and I would have the entire series. The lone Silver Age book out of the haul. Here comes Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, number 30, guest starring the Mighty Thor. Love those old Silver Age hero versus hero confrontations from Marvel Comics. All right, down to the last three. We have this Star Wars fan club special edition. I believe that you had to send away for this book. You couldn't purchase it off the rack. But this features just this stunning wraparound cover of the expanded Star Wars universe characters. A hysterical like parody of the old Muscle Guy ads where the guy's on the beach and gets sand kicked at him and works out and then beats the guy and impresses the beats the bully and impresses the girl. Well, in this it's actually Anakin and Padme, and it's a Tusken Raider that messes with him, and then he learns the dark side, comes back and chops the Tusken Raider's head off as Darth Vader. It's pretty funny. It also features a great Clone Wars story and a very odd Han Solo story where he's killed by Native Americans and then his corpse is discovered years and years later by Indiana Jones. So definitely a cool book and a very worthy addition to my Star Wars collection. One of the few occasions where my cheap self will actually buy like a variant that's actually kind of expensive, at least for me. This was like $40, and this is TMNT #1, the Kill Bill homage cover featuring, April O'Neil is in, like in Uma Thurman mode. So, love this cover, love Tarantino, love the Turtles, love April O'Neil, love it all. So, had to pick this up. It was around like $40, and this was one of those things that, as most incentives, they tend to go down. So most likely I'll regret that. I could probably pick this up for like maybe 20 a year from now, but you never know. So better to have it now than later. Love that. And finally, for the pick of the haul and possibly pick of the year, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, number 87, the first full appearance of Jon Stewart. Great. Fine condition. It does have this weird like shadowing at the top, but other than that, banger of a book, and one of the big books that I had on my list for this year. Actually, this, along with the first appearance of Jonah Hex, were like my two main focuses of the bigger books that I wanted this year. So very happy to pick them up earlier on in the collecting season. And that's all I have for this week. So, or rather, for these past couple of months. So I will see you all in probably another couple of months with another haul. Until next time, take care. See ya.